Captain Vexthera's tentacles trembled as she read the transmission for the 7th time. The crystalline communication device pulsed with urgent amber light, its message burning into her consciousness like acid through metal. Emergency Protocol Omega initiated. Human sleep pods compromised. Immediate evacuation recommended. For 3,000 cycles, the Galactic Council had maintained one absolute law across all 47 star systems: the humans must remain in stasis. The reasons had been carved into every ship's hull, programmed into every AI core, and whispered through every space station corridor. Humans were dangerous. Not because of their technology, that had been surpassed centuries ago, but because of something far more terrifying: their unpredictability. The Zephyrians had been the first to study them, back when Earth still existed as more than radioactive debris. They'd documented humanity's capacity for both breathtaking compassion and unfathomable cruelty, sometimes within the same individual. The research files spoke of creatures who would sacrifice themselves for strangers, then wage wars over invisible lines drawn on maps. Beings who could love with devastating intensity and hate with equal fervor. When the solar expansion began consuming Earth's orbit, the Council had faced an impossible choice. Extinction seemed cruel for any species, even one as chaotic as humanity. So they'd chosen containment. 47 million humans, selected through genetic lottery, were placed in quantum stasis pods and scattered across the galaxy's edge. A living museum of the universe's most dangerous species. Commander Roth of the mining vessel Stellar Harvest hadn't known about the cargo in Section C when he'd initiated the emergency protocols. The asteroid collision had damaged multiple systems, and standard procedure demanded all stasis pods be brought online to prevent occupant death during system failures. He'd expected to find Altarian refugees or perhaps some deep space research specimens. Instead, he'd awakened something that made his scaled skin crawl with ancestral fear. The first human to emerge was a female designated subject 23,847,291. Her tag read, Martinez, Elena, biochemist, age 34. She'd sat up slowly, her primitive optical organs focusing on Roth's reptilian features with what his translator interpreted as curiosity rather than fear. Well, she'd said, her voice carrying harmonics that seemed to bypass his auditory organs and speak directly to his nervous system, this is new. Within 6 hours, Elena Martinez had befriended 3 crew members, analyzed their language matrices, and somehow convinced the ship's AI to grant her limited access to their databases. By the 8th hour, she'd identified 17 ways to improve their mining efficiency and had begun sketching modifications to their quantum drives that shouldn't have been theoretically possible. By the 10th hour, she'd also deduced that her species had been deliberately kept in stasis. "You're afraid of us," she'd told Roth during their tense confrontation in the observation deck. Stars wheeled past the transparent aluminum windows as she spoke. "Not because we're stronger or smarter, we're clearly not. You're afraid because you can't predict us." Roth's forked tongue flicked nervously. "Your species exhibits dangerous patterns of behavior." Elena had smiled then, an expression that somehow managed to be both gentle and terrifying. "Dangerous to whom? To you. To yourselves. To the established order." Before Roth could respond, alerts began cascading through the ship's systems. Other mining vessels, other transport ships, other installations, all reporting the same impossible scenario. Humans were waking up. Not just on their ship, but everywhere. The quantum entanglement protocols that had kept the stasis pod synchronized across the galaxy had transmitted the awakening signal to every hidden cache. 47 million humans, scattered across 47 star systems, were opening their eyes for the first time in 3 millennia. Elena stood at the viewport, her reflection ghost-like against the cosmic backdrop. "I suppose," she said quietly, "you're about to find out what 3,000 years of evolution can do to a species you thought you understood." The communication array crackled with incoming transmissions. Reports of humans emerging from stasis pods on mining stations, research vessels, and forgotten storage facilities. Some were confused, others curious. A few were already asking the questions that would reshape everything. Captain Vexthera set course for the nearest evacuation point, knowing with crystalline certainty that the universe's careful order was about to become beautifully, terrifyingly chaotic. The humans were awake. And they had questions.